Where does the time go? Oh, it's going right now. What's up, everybody? This is Tucker. Thanks for stopping in and sharing some of your time with me today. If you have followed along with me at all, you know that in my channel, I aim to share both my adventures and the things that I learn in the process for both my business and my life that help me make the most of it all. So in that vein of discovery and progress, I thought that today would be a great day to do a bit of a mid-year check-in. As I record this, it is July 3rd. That means that we are now in the back half of 2022. What? It is both the end of the second quarter and 6 months in, so I guess it's as good a time of any to pause and just reflect. Yeah, so check-ins for me have become important to reflect on where I've been and how far I've come in the journey of building the life that I most want to live. And in the past 6 months, I have moved, I've launched a business, created content, formed a community, traveled for both work and for pleasure, trained for races, and so on and so forth, all that fun stuff. And it's taken work and focus, but I'm pretty happy with how it's going so far. And that's where a tool like this planner comes in handy. Without a plan, I wouldn't have a map to do what I have to do. Now, you have seen me reference this before, probably, if you watched any of my videos. This here is the Full Focus Planner by Michael Hyatt Company. I've been using it for years, going on, gosh, probably almost 6 years now. Let's say 5. But that's because I see it as an invaluable resource that helps me break down my goals into actionable steps and then track them along the way. So speaking for myself, without a measuring device, I find that it's hard to know how far you've come. And as the author Peter Drucker said, what gets measured gets managed. And between you and me, I don't manage very well unless I measure my progress for just about everything in my life. But like Michael Scott, somehow I manage, but usually not very well. Terrible reference, sorry, not sorry. Anyway, back on track. That's what leads me here now talking to you about a notebook in early July. Not the notebook, but a notebook. I'm never going to be talking about the notebook. Reviewing progress on the things that we said we wanted to do and the person we wanted to be way back at the start of the new year. Days that we don't even remember now. And that is so important because we all want to grow and improve, and I would guess in at least one area of life, right? As parents or spouses, in our income, maybe our health, our quality of life, to maybe increase the joy and the happiness in our life, or how about maybe even leaving a lasting impression? We all hope to grow in something that makes us feel like our journey of life has been one of progress. And one of the best tools that I've found for making progress on that journey is a method in Brian Moran's book, 12-Week Year. I don't have my book, I left it at home when I moved, but there's a graphic, you can see what it looks like there. You can head down to my description, you'll be able to get a link for the book. I highly recommend picking it up. I have spent so much time implementing the principles from this book that they've gotten ingrained in my mind and rewired it in a whole new way. It's a totally simple strategy, but one that I've found incredibly effective to promote desired progress. In its simplest form, it shifts your understanding of 1 year as 12 months to 1 year as 12 weeks. And although that might be counterintuitive, we can actually see this happening in real time all around us. Athletes will train intensely for 4 or 6 weeks and then move on to the next skill. And even most industries and sales departments know that the growth comes in the last quarter of the year as people push through the last months to hit their targets. This is all around us. If you just paused and listened or noticed, you would see how people talk about their goals, about their plans, about the hopes that they have for their year. The problem with annual goals and resolutions is that there's no sense of urgency when you have a deadline that's inconceivable to the short-term mind. When you shift your thinking to 3-month cycles, you use every hour of every day more deliberately to reach your goals. Now, if you stick with me for just a moment, I'll share with you the breakdown of Moran's methods in the book. But if you are goal or resolution oriented, I'd recommend you head down to that link, click on it, and get a book for yourself. You'll find that at least some of the strategies that we're going to break down probably could be helpful for you. So jumping into it, there are 3 principles that motivate a strategy behind the 12-week year. The first is accountability. It's taking full ownership of your actions and the intended results. And the second is commitment. to do whatever it takes to keep the promises that you made to yourself. And the third is what he calls greatness in the moment. That's focusing on the moment and doing what's needed even when you don't feel like doing it at all. And out of those core principles are 5 disciplines to structure your 12-week year around. Each one of these are helpful on their own and can take just about a lifetime of learning and practicing to master, but sometimes just starting is enough. So I'd recommend don't wait, just start right in with it. The first is to have a life vision that's clear and inspiring so that you know how your next 12 weeks will fit into it. Next is to break that vision down into a concrete plan, what to do and how you're going to do it. Now get as specific with this as possible. When you're vague, it's easy to overlook tasks that need to be completed. We all do this. I forget to make a grocery list, I go to the store, and I come home with only 2 things that I didn't even need in the first place. A plan is paramount to success. Next, we're going to set up what he calls process controls. You and I both know them just as routines and habits. I don't know why he doesn't call them that, but we'll just call them that for now. These are the structures that you put in place to best operate. I love what Annie Dillard, who happens to be one of my favorite authors, has to say about this. A schedule defends chaos from whim. It is a net for catching days. God, her words are so wonderful. How poetic she makes something so simple as scheduling. And I just love that visual because it helps me to picture exactly why I spend so much effort to work on the things that help me work better. You track with that? That made sense to me. I don't know if that makes sense to you. All right, moving on. And from there, you'll keep score and continuously improve. That's tracking, evaluating, and then innovating on what's not working. And finally, we are practicing the art of effective time management. That's utilizing a tool called time boxing. It's also known as time blocking, to designate specific hours for specific tasks. And that's what makes a resource like the Full Focus Planner so incredibly invaluable to me. It compiles all 5 of those steps in one place. I just realized that it makes me sound like I'm selling this thing. I have no skin in the game with this company. I just love it so much. I found it to be incredibly helpful. I recommend it to anybody who asks. I'll be in a bar or a cafe or restaurant. Most likely I'm holding this. Because if I don't have my plan in front of me, I lose my mind. I'm like a chicken with that head cut off. I'm like a headless horse chicken. That's not it. I'll figure that one out. Now, the author does make a point to mention that there are 2 keys to success in the 12-week year. One of those is accountability. He comes back around at the end to hammer home accountability. Find ways that are best for you to stay accountable to your work, to your goals, to your hopes, to your wishes, to your plan. Things like deadlines, penalties, and social support have been incredibly helpful for me staying accountable to my goal. And lastly, after it's all said and done, the key to all of this succeeding is the 13th week. After all the hard work is done, give yourself a full week to rest, to celebrate, to reflect, and to plan on your next block. That is the time to pull your foot off the gas and just enjoy yourself. Because really, when you think about it, what does hard work mean without the celebration of it? I like that saying. I might write that one down, put it on a bumper sticker. Well, I have seen a huge benefit to my own personal and business goals in switching my mindset from a 12-month year to a 12-week year. But don't take my word for it. But don't take my word for it. I put links to the 12-week year and the Full Focus Planner in the description below. Give it a try. What's the worst that could happen? At the very least, it gives you another tool in your tool belt of progress, right? And if you would, let me know what works for you. I am on a journey to discover the best habits and practices for progress. So let me know in the comments what you found most helpful for you to reach your goals. If you found this helpful, please do click the like button and subscribe for regular updates. I wish you the best of luck on your next 12-week year. I'll see you next time. Take care.